Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Petey.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Tracy.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of things on the farm, but one thing we can't do is grow this channel without your help. Matthew beat me down here this morning. He's already got everything pulled out of the cooler, so I'm now helping fill up all the shelves and fill everything else up. Hey, good morning, Grammy. Morning. Yeah, long time no see. We're just about finished filling up. I had to move some apples around, and then we also had to grab some spring mix and some lettuce to put out. Besides that, I think we're pretty good. For now, at least. Our first set of chores are now finished, so we're moving on to our second set. We have to get all of the animals fed, and we also need to add some bedding for the cattle. I see Daniel is already in there collecting eggs. Just want to see if he got the eggs in the back here. Yep, all the eggs are collected.
Oh, this one's chicken feed.
We're grabbing feed for the calves, and we pulled down the wrong bin. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. It looks good. This feed has a little more molasses in it, so it has some trouble falling out of the totes. So we have to assist it a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal because this really benefits the cattle. Just got some fresh bedding put down for the calves, and we also loaded some grain in. This is one of the pens that we just cleaned out. The manure that we've been spreading in the previous videos, a lot of it came from this pen. So it's not too bad in here, but we still want the bedding down. Now that we're finished up with that first pen, we're bedding up the pastured cattle. And unfortunately, you always need someone watching this gate. So Matthew was able to get that first pen fed. When we're bedding up that first pen of cattle, we usually like to wait to feed until after we bed up. It just makes things a little bit easier. They're not trying to stay in front of the feeders while we're trying to put bedding down. I think we got a system that works pretty well, so we're probably gonna keep doing it. I think he knows what he's doing. Just a quick recap, all of the animals have now got their feed and they've all got fresh bedding. So I think it's been a successful morning. So the next thing on our list for today involves working in the large greenhouse. Now yesterday the boys were in here filling pots again. The first day that we were filling, we got that far side filled up pretty good, and then the boys got this aisle started. We still have plenty of trays to fill up, so that's what we're gonna be working on again today. We're really just trying to get a head start because once all the plant starts come in, you have to work fast. You wanna get all of them moved out of the trays that they came into their respective pots, and it can be stressful, but by doing all this work in advance, it takes the stress off of us. So again, we are gonna be using the pot filling machine. If anybody had a question about this sticker, we call it the Cookie Monster because of its color, and I just think that's like one of the coolest stickers there is. Good old Cookie Monster. Currently, it's myself, Daniel, Petey, and Matthew in the greenhouse, and that's enough people to get started, so we're gonna start filling pots. Look at that guy over there. He's sitting down, eating oranges. He told me the oranges were pretty good though, so we won't give him a hard time. As we're constantly filling trays and the machine up with soil, I have to remember that sometimes soil falls off the side of where Matthew's working, and we have a collection bin underneath. So I don't want to fill this up too full so that we can't dump that bin in there. So Matthew and I have to work together to make sure that I don't have this too full when his bin is full. Well, never mind. We just got our first pallet of dirt finished off, the first pallet of many that we just finished off. Good job, Petey. All of you basically have an understanding of how this machine works now. The soil gets dumped into the hopper, it is mixed, and then we put it into our trays. I don't think I've talked about this, but we do actually have a foot pedal for it. When you put it in manual mode, you can run it using the foot pedal, which makes it a lot easier as you're filling pots. And then once we get all of our trays filled and moved onto carts, we then will take it to wherever we need it in the greenhouse. We now have got our 3 largest tables filled up, and now we've moved quite a few to this back section of tables. We don't need to fill too many more, but it's looking good. There are a few things we have to keep in mind when a lot of our plant shipments come in. These tables right here will be completely filled with plants, so we may have to move those later on, but for now it's a good spot to put them. They won't be in our way, and when we are finally putting flowers into the pots, we can move them to wherever we need. Almost perfect. It's 2. What are you talking about? Oh, now look what you done. That's not good.
Look what you did.
Not good, not good.
Daniel Andy's over here making a mess.
Don't even start. You're the one that was making
You're the
this
one
before. I don't want to hear it out of you. You're the one that's leaving them all here.
Oh, get out.
Look at that, one extra? What
One
are you?
extra. Notice how the stacks are all still standing.
It was an accident. It happened one time. You get out of my way.
Don't give me a hard time about it.
Yo, look who's here. How's it going, Gavin?
It's going great.
How are the horses this morning?
They're also doing great. They were a little warm, so I had to take all the blankets off, but they're doing better.
Can you believe he takes all the horses' blankets and uses them for himself?
That's why he looks half asleep all the time. He's napping.
Who told you that?
We're all finished with 4.5-inch pots, but now we're gonna be moving on to something different. We sell a lot of hanging baskets here on the farm, and a big job with hanging baskets is getting all the pots filled. Now we have 10-inch, which are these white pots, and we have 12-inch, which are those green pots. We're gonna get started with the 10-inch ones that we have here, and we're just gonna continuously fill up hanging baskets until we have enough filled. Something that's interesting is they all have these inserts in here to help the water drain so that they don't get affected by disease as much if you have them for a longer time. So every single one of these pots has to have an insert in it.
Top on that one, that way for late, that comes in like in the middle of April, that we could put more
your tub if you want, Matt.
Are you dumping in right now?
Yeah, I have a half bag I'm putting in.
Okay.
So that plenty of room for the tub.
Well, here.
This is so much slower. The boys just brought over the last of the 10-inch hanging basket pots. I'm told we have 319 filled. So for now, we're gonna be good with that. After the lunch, we're gonna start working on 6-inch pots. So we should be good with these for now. We're gonna have to fill up more later on, but for now we're good. And it's perfect time to stop because it is lunch. I was heading up for lunch, and then I got a call. Oh, this is gonna be fun to deal with. How'd all these chickens get out? Somehow all the chickens got out. We're getting them wrangled back. Ay, ay, ay. Do we all remember who collected eggs this morning? Ooh, that's probably the culprit. But something you have to remember is that I've done it in the past. My dad's done it. Matt's done it. We've all left the door open. And we're probably gonna do it in the future. So we're not gonna be too hard on the person that did it. Now that the chickens are all back in their pen, we can go eat. Let's see, what are we having for lunch today? Looks like we're having hot chicken sandwiches and hot ham sandwiches. We are now finished with lunch, so we're making our way back into the greenhouse. I'm not sure if I mentioned that we're gonna be filling a different type of pot. We were doing the 10-inch hanging baskets, but now we're gonna be doing our 6-inch green pots. We've got to adjust the machine a little bit so that it will be easier to run. We're actually gonna be running the soil right into a wheelbarrow, and then we're gonna scoop out the pots one by one. And by doing it this way, we'll be able to move along a little faster.
Just these pots, I'd be okay with doing a whole lot more. It's just...
I don't know if we're gonna do
We're doing kind of the same thing that we did with the white hanging baskets. We have a few 6-inch green pots filled up, and now we're filling up the proven winter 6-inch pots. We want to make sure that we have enough filled so that when the plants get here, we can work, but we don't want to have too many that they're in the way when we're trying to work. So we have to find that fine line, and we got to walk it carefully. Just finished off the last of the 6-inch pots. We're discussing what we want to do next. We're not sure if we're going to do hanging baskets or something else. It's more of a wait and see right now. Little bit of an update. We are getting pots filled pretty quickly here. The only thing that takes a little bit of time is getting the machine filled back up. Now, if we wanted to, we could just continuously be adding soil to the machine and we'd never have to stop. But this stuff is pretty dry, and when you're at the other end of it, it gets dusty, and we don't like that. It makes you sneeze. It's not good for you. Don't want to be breathing that in. But when we add water to it, it takes the dust away, and it makes this job much more enjoyable. So we like to take a little break, wet the soil down, get it filled back up, and then we can start again. Well, it was a lot of soil and a lot of work today, but we got a lot of pots filled. Not only pots, but trays also. There was just a lot accomplished. But now we are done working in the greenhouse for the day. Closing time has arrived, so we're taking everything and moving it to the cooler. Dad and I are talking about how warm it's been. We're walking up the house. All the grass is green. Grammy's flowers are coming up in her garden. It's supposed to be cold in the upcoming days, but It is strange. Oh, hey, honey, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Raviolis.
For those of you that have seen the house like a bunch, because we've done a lot of filming in here, we used to have green curtains. Now we've got these curtains right here, and these were actually made by my Grammy's sister. So Grammy's sister made curtains for the house, right? So we're changing things up, changing the colors. We also took the sconces off the wall. Those are painted. We also took all the receptacles off. Those are being painted. So don't forget to tell Grammy how nice her new curtains look down in the comments. She'll appreciate it. We now have got everyone out at the dinner table, so you guys know what that means. This is where we're gonna end the video today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.